Well, it's been a heck of a long time, but I've had some other knives, kitchen knives that I've gotten in from TwoSuns, and didn't really have a great time trying to figure out a nice Thursday time slot or something like that. And so I'll just kind of throw them all up into this one. Starting off with one that I've actually had for quite a long time, and this is the TS606. Yeah, yep, it's got a blade guard on it. This one's got apples. Super cute. That's how it came from the factory. I appreciate that. Mostly I end up cutting apples with this anyway, so that's kind of besides the point. But yeah, so this does have their Damascus cladding sort of thing going on here. I have not been able to find the exact steel that they've used at the core of this. Most likely it's 10CR 15 MOV, or that VG10 kind of equivalent stuff, as they've used that on quite a few of their other Damascus kind of things around the time that this was produced. This one has an ebony handle on it, stained two different colors. They are two different pieces as well. It's fairly traditional in that Japanese octagonal handle style, which I believe is referred to as WA or WA. We got a single brass pin in there. Almost all Japanese style knives are, stick tang or whatnot. They are not full tang, and that is definitely the case here. And something that changes a little bit with that, with a little bit more of the larger knives, is the blade is usually a lot more blade heavy rather than having a lot more substance in the handle, because the tang doesn't go all the way back there. This one is super nice and balanced all the way around. This is a 6-inch blade. Very nice utility kind of thing going on here. And yeah, I mean, usually with a lot of Japanese knives, they'll use their finger out there. Does a really good job for slicing and whatnot. Very thin blade stock, which is pretty darn cool. I like that quite a bit. And just kind of attractive in general. I do like this thing quite a bit. Like I said, I use this down here in my wet bar for taking care of, if I want an apple for a snack, there's that. If I need to cut up any kind of fruits for some cocktails and whatnot, lemons, limes, all that sort of stuff, does an absolutely fantastic job of that as well. So, yeah, I think I have talked about this thing a little bit in the past. I put that in upside down. When I first got it in, but hey, that's probably been like a year from now, and I just haven't remembered to talk about that. However, we do have another couple of them that kind of reminded me that, yeah, it's kind of on the same track. And I have talked a little bit about these before. This is the TS800 and 801. And these have the exact same blade on there. And these blades, I think, are somewhere around 6 inches. Just a touch over 6 inches. 6 1/4 or so. The only difference being, yeah, this is more of a European style with G10 handles and full tang, pinned, all that sort of stuff. And because of that, yeah, this thing is fairly handle heavy, because those handles are nice and thick for, a little bit more of that European feel to it. These are not forged. They are stamped. And hey, that's fine. That's what most of the Japanese style knives end up being as well. These are in 12C27. Don't necessarily know why they had that. I think maybe it had something to do with also the TS162 little folding knife that I got that was in 12C27, but most of them are in D2. That was probably them kind of playing around with the steel and then it actually being implemented here. So yeah, we also have the 801, and this one is just a touch handle heavy, but very, very neutral, basically in there. This one doesn't have a pin that I can see, but it is still technically ebony wood handles for them. And they do the two different types of staining there. Obviously, they have different colors that they've used. And I think, out of both of them, in this particular instance, I do actually like the octagonal handle one. Just the balance feels just a little bit better. And a lot of times with a utility knife like this, I don't mind actually having my finger up there rather than trying to do the pinch grip, which for the most part really just doesn't feel right on a kitchen knife that doesn't have bolsters on it. You just feel too much of the shoulder of those. But very nice design. If you are looking for something that's smaller than even a Santoku or a standard chef's knife or something like that, it's a pretty darn good thing to pick up. And yeah, they are definitely affordable. Alright, the next one has been on my docket for a very long time, and I just kind of fell out of covering a lot of these. This is the TS517. This is a Nakiri. We got that in fully molded G10 handle. This is in 10CR 15 MOV, so that VG10 kind of stuff going on there. And this is a forged blade, which is always kind of interesting to me, them making these forged Nakiris, because obviously most Japanese knives aren't necessarily, or at least they don't include the bolsters and all that sort of stuff. But hey, I definitely do like that. This one's pretty good. I don't really have any huge complaints. It's got a very, very nice geometry to it. Works out quite well. I do think I end up liking the the TS950, which I don't have in front of me, but it's basically the 14C28N forged version like this. It does have the 3 pens though, whereas this is a little bit more Hinkle's 4-star or molded sort of thing. But yes, very nice G10 done here. A little butt cap and everything. Very, very attractive. Works out quite well. And hey, this is actually balanced quite nicely right there at the bolster too. So that works out quite nice. The handle might be just a little bit too neutral and round for me. And that definitely does lend a little bit more to wanting to use the pinch grip so that you keep that rotation a little bit at bay rather than using the accuser hand style or whatnot that I end up referring to it. Definitely wasn't my invention. I think I took that from Alton Brown from a long time ago. But okay, and the last one that I have here is, to me, really impressive. And I was excited when I first saw it, and then when I got it, I was just as happy. And this is the TS700DA. Go ahead and pull this off, and we have an 8-inch chef's knife. And you can see, yes, we do have that Damascus cladding on there, but they've done a much more involved, almost herringbone-ish kind of finish going on there. Looks super, super slick. Yes, you are going to end up getting just a little bit of scratches on it. Hey, this is softer steel to protect the inside here. The inside of it, by the way, is also kind of a steel I haven't seen yet, which is 15CR 15 MOV. So that's going to still, just like the 10CR 15 MOV, have, 10CR 15 MOV. It will have the same amount of molybdenum and vanadium and all that sort of stuff, but the carbon content in here is up from 1 to 1.5%, so that is nice for probably a couple of reasons. And the handle on this is Ironwood, which just looks absolutely gorgeous. It's got that nice tiger's eye kind of thing to it. Obviously, this stuff is almost hard as stone. That's, the reason why Ironwood is known as Ironwood. And, just the fit and finish and everything. The bolster is super nice. It's still using their same kind of 900 series handle shape. So it still has that nice S with a little tiny bit of a hook, but not a beak. Just very, very comfortable. I absolutely adore this thing. It's super gorgeous. Now, obviously, yes, it's not a real Damascus steel, but in general, unless you're trying to get something custom done or paying a very, very large amount for, another company to probably buy Damascus steel from Larry Nichols or somebody else who kind of does their own custom Damascus or whatever. Damascus clad is going to be where it's at. That's what pretty much any folding knife is going to be, whether it's Damasteel or Civivis, or Artisan Cutleries or any of that. It's all basically this, where we have a core steel. And a lot of times in kitchen knives, it's usually VG10, or I think a couple of companies like Shun have moved to VG Max, which is it's an offshoot of VG10. It's just a little tiny bit better in some ways, which might actually be a little bit more of what this 15CR15 MOV might be trying to mimic a little bit. Obviously I don't know. I haven't done a huge amount of testing on it one way or the other, but hey, it is a steel that I haven't seen yet, and it would make sense, at least, as according to the numbers, it looks like it's an offshoot of 10CR15 MOV, and that is also what VG Max is to VG10. So, alright, overall, this thing, yeah, I really can't get over how gorgeous this is. It's got a really nice fit and finish all the way around. They've done a really, really good job with working with wood. It is Ironwood, so I wouldn't imagine that this is, what do you call it, processed or whatever, like the pack of wood or anything like that. It's not processed, I don't think, but it does have that very, very strong feeling like it is. So yeah, I don't think it's impregnated with resin, but I do think that it probably was kiln dried for several days, like a lot of guitar manufacturers end up doing before they end up using their woods and stuff like that, because a lot of times they don't want to stabilize. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, they don't really want to stabilize a lot of woods because, well, I guess in their particular case, if you impregnate wood with a whole bunch of resin, then you're not actually listening to the resonance of the wood anymore. You're listening to the resonance of the resin. So you might as well not have the wood in there in the first place. So, all right, yeah, this is a TS700-DA. Fairly darn new. I picked up, I think, the second one that I saw available on eBay. It might have been the first. I don't know. I was really excited to get it, and yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. But hey, that's the rest of the TwoSuns kitchen knives that I have. I haven't seen anything new come out recently. This is the newest one that I'm aware of. But I will probably pick a lot more of them up if and or when they do come out. But until then, yep, this is going to be basically the probably the last kitchen cutlery sort of knife video that I do for quite a while. So, all right, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching. As always, have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo.